Hey guys, welcome to another awesome episode of the Self-Help Us podcast, where we review self-helpy things every week and report back on whether we like it or not. Usually, we're not fans because a lot of self-help stuff is bullshit, but maybe this week is different. I am Priya.
And I'm Sofia, and that was very nicely done.
Thank you so much.
Today we are reviewing The Secret documentary, which was also a book, but we're lazy this week, so we just did the documentary.
Yeah.
So the documentary is about how apparently there's this big secret kept throughout history by the greatest men, and it's about how thoughts become things, and if you think of something, you will attract it to you, whether it's good or bad. So all you have to do if you want to get the life of your dreams is to think good thoughts at all times, and you'll attract those to you automatically.
Right.
Sounds good.
Sounds like fucking a dream come true. Sounds super fucking easy, but I have a lot of thoughts on The Secret.
And see, if you have a lot of thoughts on it and you're attracting the frequency of whatever you're attracting, which I'm guessing is negative.
Well, okay, so the first time I watched The Secret was when it first came out, actually. I watched it with my mom.
Really?
Yeah, and I was a kid at that time, and I was like, I don't understand what's happening, so whatever. And then I watched it a few months ago again, but for this podcast, I wanted to, refresh my memory, so I watched it last night, so it's super fresh for you guys. You're welcome, you're welcome. And even though there are, lots of, I don't want to say nuggets of wisdom, because they're also the kinds of things that you find on Pinterest as quotes.
They did have a lot of quotes from great men in this documentary, but I feel like they were all selectively chosen to support their point.
Yeah.
And very in a very spurious way.
Yeah, it was very much tunnel vision-y, where they were ignoring everything that contradicted with the message of The Secret. And
at one point they said, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. And that was by Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah.
And do you think Martin Luther King Jr. would be involved in this nonsense? You really think someone of that caliber, you assholes?
I know, right? And when we say they quoted or they said this, it's a panel, and I'm putting
panel in quotes.
Panel in quotes, and I'm also putting experts, so panel of experts. The whole thing's in quotes.
Yeah, there's a metaphysicist in there, so.
And there's a reverend who was so fucking trippy. I was like, who is this guy?
There's also people that just says author.
Yeah,
which means nothing.
It's
we could be authors. I could write one page and publish it on Amazon, and I'm an author.
Yeah, exactly. But it was a panel of these people who were just saying, honestly, the most random shit, and just speaking to you in a soothing and affirming tone to make you believe what they were saying.
Exactly like that.
Right?
Exactly like that.
They're trying to hypnotize you almost with the way that they approach it and with their tones of voice. I don't know. It was all very. It was it had a distinctly culty vibe.
Yes, culty is the word.
Yeah. Culty is 100% the word. I just felt everyone that was speaking about The Secret was
and they spoke about it it's some hidden, it's some Dan Brown.
Dan Brown.
Seriously, wasn't the introduction is someone's taking it from a stone tablet and they fold up that manuscript and it's passed down throughout history through these greatest men, and then there's always someone chasing after them as if the secret will I don't know, get them executed or something.
I know. And then they say the best part of The Secret is that you share it with everyone, and I was like, well, that's the exact opposite of what was happening in the beginning of this documentary. Honestly though, I feel everyone should watch The Secret to enjoy the insanity of what it is.
I mean, it does have a high production value, but that production value went through a lot of corniness. And it's a wannabe Dan Brown movie.
Yeah, exactly. And I just feel it
Dan Brown is the guy who wrote the Da Vinci Code, by the way, so you get the vibe of what we're saying.
Yes. And I just feel like it was 90 minutes of repeating the same thing over
Absolutely.
again. Weird, like, video and image montages. And
A lot of
just, like,
stock, a lot of stock footage.
yeah, so much, and, like, random people, which I honestly feel like it could have been, like, a 12-minute YouTube video.
Yeah, absolutely.
That delivered the same exact
With like 600 views.
caliber of content and quality.
Yeah, it seems like they put a lot of budget into something that could have been just like 12 minutes of YouTube video, just like Priya said.
I also think, though, that, like, it made so much money that, like, it was, the production cost was so low, but it made so much money that it just seems like a marketing scheme.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't seem like it provides actual value. It just seems like, oh, lots of people are looking for something in their life. Lots of people aren't going to do anything about what they want. So let's invent the secret and sell it to them, because it's easier to swipe a credit card than it is to actually go out and do these hard things.
Yeah, it's funny that we say this about The Secret, because a lot of what we liked about Jen Sincero's book, which we found in, which we reviewed in an early, we said found, like I found The Secret.
Yeah, we was in the library. It was a dark and stormy night.
We reviewed this in an earlier episode, and Jen Sincero takes a lot from The Secret, actually.
Yeah.
About, like, frequencies and thinking the things that you want to happen. So what do you think about that? So there's this sort of dissonance with us right now about hating this movie but loving Jen Sincero.
So the reasons I don't say I would hate The Secret. I just feel like it's so... Okay, the delivery of some of the messages that I find extremely valuable was so shitty that it, like, put me off the entire thing.
Like, what kind of delivery?
Just, like, with the dumbass, like, montages and all this stuff, it's like it wasn't taking itself seriously. Like, it was just, like, haphazardly put together to make money rather than actually delivering, like, valuable content to people in a straightforward way that they can use in their everyday life. It was just, like, very circuitous, and I did not care for that at all. Because the things that were, like, extremely valid, for example, one of the main things they say is everything you think becomes a reality. It's basically just, like, adjusting your perspective to see things in a different light. So if you're constantly thinking, oh, bad things only happen to me, then of course your brain will recognize every single bad thing that happens to you and blow it up, whereas, like, you let...
It's not just that it will blow it up, it's literally only bad things that will happen to you. They said that if you're always worried about bills, then bills will always come. Why don't you try thinking about a check coming to you in the mail? And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, who is this check? Like, who's paying me?
And there's, like, a little boy who really wants this bike, and he cuts it out. And he looks at that little snippet of that catalog, and he's always thinking about it. And then magically, his grandfather gives him a bike.
Yeah.
Or, like, someone who looks like his grandfather. Could be...
That...
Oh, no! The implications. I'm so sorry.
You know what actually happened? The grandpa, let's just say it was the grandpa, came over to his house, saw the cutout of the bike, and was like, now I know what to get him for Christmas or birthday or whatever.
You know where
like,
this...
It just, I feel like The Secret removes all of your own responsibility to, like, take action in your own life.
Exactly.
And that's what I don't
I think that's what people love about it.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's so popular.
No, I think if you have read Jen Sincero's You Are a Badass, it does cover a lot of the same ground. But I think the big differences and why this takes my bullshit meter and Jen Sincero does not is that she also encourages action with your thoughts.
Yeah, she basically says there are only two things that will guarantee your life becoming exactly what you dream it to be. The, first part is, like, the visualization and the good energy and, like, the one with the universe kind of stuff. And the second part is action. And she said without, either of those things, your life will stay the same.
And she addresses action as also something that keeps your quote-unquote frequency high.
Yeah.
The things that attract good things to you will also keep good things from happening to you. To happen.
You know what?
You know what?
I think they get it.
I'm so sorry.
So, like, for example, if you're applying for a job.
Yeah.
Let's say that you're a recent college grad, but you want to be, like, I don't know, marketing manager or something. Which, if you're a recent college grad, that's not going to happen. That's not the job you want. Basically, if you do it the secret way, all you do is you visualize that you have that job. You visualize this and you think about this and you like put out that energy and you all that stuff. Whereas when you add the action, such as the...
Like attend a resume workshop or something, or network, something like that.
And also I feel like it's just... The reason The Secret has so much like draw and appeal is mainly because so many people want these things, but they're not willing to work for it, and they're not willing to delay the gratification of getting it. For example, like the college guy who wants to be a marketing manager, like you have to start somewhere, but if that's what you want, you can get there. It's just that you have to put in the work and the time and the energy and the oneness with the universe, which I'm saying without any sarcasm at all. Whereas, like, with The Secret, all you're going to do is, like, sit in your parents' basement and wait for someone to give you a marketing job.
Another thing that's bullshit is they say that if you think of things that will happen to you, whether it's good or bad, it will happen to you. Yeah. So they show an image of someone locking their bike, and they're worried about someone stealing it, and then someone steals it. They're saying, like, don't plan ahead at all. That's basically what they're saying.
And it's also kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy almost, where you're like, oh, like, this thing is going to happen. And then, of course, it happens, especially when it's, like, a bad thing.
So, should that guy not have locked his bike? Then yeah. Should he have just walked away merrily, being like, well, I'm one with the universe, so nothing bad will ever happen to me?
Exactly. It's, like, the thought plus the action. And that is, like, the key to this entire thing.
Yes.
And...
yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of soft voice you say it.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how soothing your voice is. Doesn't matter if you're a reverend or a metaphysicist who is...
or an author.
Or an author, which is... I'm going to put that in quotes, too. Author. Air quotes. Basically, at the end of the day, it's just your intentions and your oneness with the universe plus action equals dream life.
Mm.
And one thing that is kind of off topic, but I do want to bring up, is our goals change over time. And so, let's say a year ago, you had this big goal and you were one with the universe and you put all your effort and energy and action into it, but then you find yourself maybe 6 months down the road, like, interested in something else or, like, an offshoot. Don't think that you've, like, failed or it's, like, not working the way it should be because your interest or your goal has changed. That's completely normal. And the way that you find what your dream life is going to be is, like, going through that path and that journey and, like, being flexible and being open to, like, what you actually want to do instead of just, like, having one goal in mind and, like, sticking to it even if it doesn't end up being exactly what you wanted it to be.
Yeah, and we're not against visualization. There's a lot of scientific studies that say, like, visualization actually works. Olympic athletes do it, and what they found is, and they actually bring this up in the documentary, which is even more spurious because they're, like, mixing actual scientific fact with their, like, soft voice bullshit.
Yeah.
Is that whenever athletes imagine themselves doing their sport, those muscles actually activate for real.
Yeah.
So you can do that with any kind of visualization in your life. Mm-hmm. If you're nervous about driving, if you're nervous about a job interview, you can visualize it instead of, like, putting it off in your mind and then you're completely unprepared.
Yeah, exactly. You just become more open to it going well and you're, like, assuaging your fears and anxiety about certain stuff. And also, honestly, I think that visualization helps me in, like, making sure that what I'm working for is, like, what I want.
Yes.
Which is such a huge thing. So, if you guys haven't tried visualization, definitely give it a shot. I mean, you don't have to do it for, like, 10 minutes. Even if you take, like, 2 minutes out of your day, close your eyes and just try it.
Or just write it down, maybe. Journal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know where this lost me? Oh, sorry. If somebody...
Oh, I was just going to say, there's so many different kinds of ways that you can visualize, so just find one that works for you.
You know where this lost me? Is when that woman with cancer.
Oh!
So a woman with cancer said that she visualized herself healing. She visualized herself already healed, and in 3 months her cancer went away with no radiation or chemotherapy. Come on.
I have so many issues with that. I just feel like that's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. That's wrong.
Yeah, it's one thing to sell this kind of school of thought, but it's one thing to make actual scientific claims like that.
Exactly. And you know, like we were saying, like visualizing being one with the universe, a lot of these ideas are valid. But when you, like, add snake oil to whatever you're selling, everything immediately becomes bullshit.
Yeah, it's irresponsible.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking about medical issues.
Yeah. Like, literal life or death, not, like, getting a raise or something. That really put me off. And I just really hope that it didn't negatively affect someone who watched that. Like, actually in life.
Honestly, I think it might have, because it was so big that, like, Oprah had them on her show, remember? Yeah. And then the other thing that really offended me is that they talked about the secret and attracting the frequency that you want in terms of, like, being anti-war, anti-drugs, and anti-terrorism. Just, like, social justice issues. And then they splice all of this, like, saying all of this with, like, pictures of activists protesting and being hosed down and held down. It seems so disrespectful to their work, which actually created change in this world, good change, to say then, well, they're actually not doing the right thing. So the quote is, if you're anti-war, be pro-peace. If you're anti-hungry...
Anti-hungry? I'm anti-hungry.
If you're anti-hunger, be pro-people having more than enough to eat. If you are anti a particular politician, be pro his opponent. Have you ever heard something, like, more...
As fucking stupid as that? No, I have not heard that. And I listened to the majority of Trump's speeches. And that is fucking stupid.
That's so stupid. That's so nonsensical. It's exactly the type of nonsensical stuff that goes in self-help books, and it sounds correct, but when you
apply it to real life.
Yeah, examine it for more than 5 seconds. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And, like, that's the thing, too, is especially, like, we're reading it in today's day and age where there's so many things in the political sphere that are happening that a lot of people don't agree with.
Yeah.
It's like, when you say stuff like that, it's like, no.
No, that lacks all nuance.
Yes, exactly. And it's like, when you make blanket statements like that, it just comes across as, like, making my bullshit meter, like, go into, like, the red zone.
Yeah.
Completely.
I agree. So, in conclusion, does this work?
Does the secret work? That's the big question. That's the $1 million question.
Is it even a secret?
Well, first of all, it's not. If you can watch it on Netflix, it's no longer a secret.
If you're on Oprah, it's no longer a secret.
Yeah, exactly. It just doesn't have that, like, quality anymore.
Yeah. It's
not like a hidden knowledge or, like, an uncovered truth. It's just, like, a bullshit documentary now. But what was your question?
Does it work?
Does it work? I think that some of the ideas are valid. However, the delivery and execution of the documentary was so poor that I just want to say no.
Yeah, the whole documentary is a big no for me.
Yeah.
Thoughts do become things, but if they're not followed up with action,
then there's no point.
Just read You Are a Badass instead, honestly.
Yeah. That is our #1, like, all-time fave on this podcast. Go check out Jen Sincero on Goodreads or Amazon or at Barnes & Noble or
your local library.
Your local library. Libraries are great. Support your libraries, people. Go check it out. Check out her books. I believe she has a couple. But the one that we love the most is You Are a Badass. And honestly, I read that book probably, like, constantly, just, like, different chapters whenever I need a little boost. And it's been amazing.
Do you really? Like, before bed or something?
Whenever, like, in the morning or, like, I'm having a cup of coffee and I'm just kind of like, I have so much to do today. Oh my God, I'm, like, freaking out. And then I'm like, I need a reminder that I am one with the universe. And the universe is my best friend. And the universe is always on my back. And, like, I am doing things to make my life the way I want it to be. And I need a reminder that I'm not alone in this.
By the way, we never used to say this kind of stuff. If, like, somebody told me you are one with the universe, like...
I'd be like, okay,
a couple months ago.
What are you smoking? Like, how high are you?
And now we are those bitches.
We are those bitches.
Priya has a dream catcher.
I do, although I have to say I've always had that kind of stuff, so...
But now you really believe in it.
I've always believed in dream catchers. But now I believe in the universe. Which I feel like is a bigger thing to believe in. You know, actually, I get really pissed off at my dream catcher sometimes. I'm like, ugh, this bitch isn't working. Because I get bad dreams.
Oh.
Yeah, and then
Maybe you should replace it.
No, I just have a Stern talking to.
Oh, and then
My
it starts
dream catcher,
working.
and then it starts working again. So that's the thing. It's like, it's definitely like a mental thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a safety behavior.
Oh yeah, 100%. But like, it works. So also, I feel like when I talk to the dream catcher, I'm secretly also talking to the universe, because the universe is always listening, guys.
That's true.
So maybe the universe is like, oh, Mabi, I was busy with some other stuff. I will help you not have bad dreams. I just, I can't believe I'm saying this, but appreciate and love the universe, guys.
Aww.
It's there for you.
Yeah, but don't appreciate and love The Secret. It's bullshit. Don't waste your hour and a half. I can't believe I wasted an hour and a half of my life.
I know.
Like, I took a nap in the middle of watching this movie. I'm serious.
It's just stupid. Honestly, like, if you have a Netflix subscription, please watch the first 10 minutes, because we need to know what you
gold.
think. It is like, I just, like, for the first, like, couple seconds, I was like, wait, did I click on something different? Like, is this what this is? Oh my god. Like, literally, you have to watch the first 10 minutes at least. Literally the first 3 minutes. I will take the first 3 and send us your reactions. You can email us your reactions
at selfhelpuspodcast@gmail.com.
We'd love to hear from you guys about The Secret or anything else. If you had any suggestions for what you want us to review or check out on the podcast, we would love those as well.
Try your best to live your best life, everybody.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.